I think if you want to be funded, you have to aim for low RRs. That's easier, first of all. You will get a high win rate, and that's the thing to do when you're training funding accounts. And also to look for for profitable traders, really profitable traders, and are not, for example, trading gurus. And I think, for example, when I was starting, I was looking, for example, those interviews that I'm doing right now, the Fivers, and that was just amazing because they were like real traders, real profitable traders, which were sharing their strategies, and that was really good to look at those types of videos, types of informations, which is really helpful in the market. And also to read a lot of books because you will get, for example, one strategy from one book, a second strategy for another, and like the different point of views, which after like 1 year, 2 years of training, you can make up your own strategy, your own approach. And for example, for me, I know that's the thing which is working is low RRs, and I got like 22K payout with that only. And just to create something on your own, not follow other people.
All right, welcome everyone to the Fivers YouTube channel. Today we're going to do yet another trader interview, and today we have Alex with us, who is a funded trader with us here at the Fivers, and we're going to talk with him, and he's going to explain how he trades and talk a little bit about his trading journey. Welcome, Alex. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm good, I'm good. It's a pleasure to be here, and that's really good.
Likewise, likewise. Thank you for doing this interview. I think everyone watching is very interested to hear about your trading journey. Maybe you could tell us a little about how you got into trading and how long you've been trading.
Yeah, of course. So I'm Alex, and I got to trading 2 years ago, I think, something like that, because I'm trading, I think, a little bit more than 2 years now. Funded with the 100K high stakes account with the Fivers. But before I got like 1 month ago, I got the Bootcamp account, which I has had scaled 2 times, I think. I were at the 300K allocation before reaching it because of, I think, psychological reasons. I wasn't really aware of what I was doing because I was at holidays. That wasn't the best period psychologically. And I just reached the accounts, but I was sure that I will repass the test again, the evaluation. But I was more confident with a 100K high stakes because you have more of the space to get with a risk and everything, risk exposure. So I got 100K high stakes account right now. And I think I have like a different view of trading right now than I get like 1 year ago, and a view that it's not that mainstream, I think.
All right, that's great. So that we got a lot to talk about. We're definitely going to be talking about that psychological aspect. So you said you had a bootcamp account, you got that to 300K, you lost it because of psychological reasons. So that's definitely something that we want to be talking about a little bit later in the interview. But now, what I would love to do is to perhaps go into the Fiverr's dashboard and look at your accounts, if that's okay with you.
Okay, okay. 1 second, I will share my screen.
Yeah, there we go. I can see it now.
Okay, so that is my 100K high stakes account, and I'm in profit right now. I got this account Monday, and I'm at 4K, like nearly 5K profit, so it's 5%, which is really good. But at the beginning, I was like in a losing streak, I think, for one moment. And that because I was over trading, I think, a little bit. Again, because of the psychological reasons. Even if I'm finding it right now, I think I'm not perfect, and that's why I'm working on it. But I think from yesterday, I got a really good day right here where I went in profit for 5%. It's really good. I was respecting my strategy, everything was perfect. And I usually don't take high RRs because I'm more specializing on low RRs like 1 to 1, 1 to 2. But here I got really good trade that I took, and I went directly from break even to 3.5%, which is really good, I think.
Yeah, very good. I see that. How many percent per trade are you risking of your account? What's your risk management strategy here?
Usually I risk 1%, but sometimes it can go up like here with the biggest loss, 1.5. That's still rare, but I'm usually around 1%. And if I'm really not sure about the trade, I'm going to 0.5%. That's the best thing to do, I think.
All right, yeah, that makes sense. That's I like that. If the trade is perfect, you might get up to that 1.5, and then if you're not super confident, you might reduce that to 0.5%.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But never, I'm trying to never risk 2% or more because that's really crazy and it's not sustainable in the long term, because even if you do, for example, statistical analysis on your accounts, in the long term, it's not sustainable. You will just lose your account. So that's just crazy.
Definitely, it's definitely important to keep risk small to make sure that you keep that account long term. Speaking of keeping that account, we talked about how you had a 300K bootcamp account that you lost, and you believe that that was because of psychological reason, and you were also on vacation, and that is, being on vacations, you should never be trading on vacation. That's it's a big. I mean, I've done that mistake myself. Some people can do it, some people can't. I definitely one of those people that cannot do it. I would love to perhaps go back to that account if possible, and maybe we can look at the equity
Yep.
curve of that account. And maybe before we go into trading view, we could perhaps talk us through what
Mm.
happened when you lost that account and why do you think that you lost it?
We can start from the first bootcamp that I take. I think the evaluations, I have passed the both like the two steps with like one trade nearly. But I lost the no, the first step because I was trying to trade the same day that I passed the second. So that was really not the perfect thing to do. But after that, I took like a week and a half of a pause and I took another bootcamp account because I was I think it's the best account to get like the highest allocation with the lowest price because you can globally go with the $200. If you lose the account and you have to add up $300, which is nothing to get 250K. So that was my first step of the bootcamp account. Usually I don't take higher hours, like I said, but on the evaluation phases, I'm trying to pass it really fast, even if now I'm trying to take my time. But at that moment, I was trying to pass it fast. Here, I think, yeah, that was something. Yeah, yeah. Here, I risked, I think, 1%, something like that, and it went really well. Yeah, yeah. So that was exactly my first scale of the 250K accounts. Like you can see here, my average profit was for 4K. Average loss was 2K and a half, which is like nearly, I think, a 1.8 hour, something like that. So I'm usually aiming for lower hours, like you can see here, like little trades, which once in positive and globally scaling those accounts. Well, my second scale, I think it was really good one. Yeah, you can see here, I don't have like really a lot of trades during my scale of like 18 right now. I'm not trying to really, really overtrade, so not doing 100 trades, even if I think I'm day trading, scalping over time frames. And yeah, here you can see 3K profit and 2.5K of average loss. So globally aiming for 1 hours with high win rates, but usually at that moment, I think I was a lot of break-even trades. So globally the win rate went down. And the moment when I lost my accounts, so holidays, globally, I started to not respect my strategy. I started to risk more. And the main thing is that when you didn't respect your strategy, you will not succeed in the long term. You can, for example, get one trade emotionally in positive, but after that you will start to overtrade. You will start to think, yeah, even without my strategy, it's possible. That will just lead to a losing streak. And
Yeah,
yep.
so I'm looking at this, and if you go back to that bootcamp account that you lost here, it would be interesting because I feel it's 10 trades here. Do you think you're risking too much per trade on this?
I think yes, yes, exactly. I should have like cut my risk like more because usually when I'm in drawdown, I'm trying to like cut my risk in half every like a percent or every 2%, because that's the thing to do to come back where you're more confident when you respect your strategy and when you respect your risk management. And here I wasn't really cutting my risk, and that went just directly with a 10 trade directly in drawdowns.
Yeah, so
Uh,
And you think you lost it because of psychological reasons, and you were also on vacation. Do you think it would be best just to not trade at all when you went away from vacation?
I think it depends because I think I was 1 month vacation, so it was hard to not trade. But at those moments, you have just to cut your risk, like your risk 0.25% or 0.5, because that's the thing which will be sustainable in a longer run. But here I was risking 1%, which were just crazy. And but if you can avoid to trade during vacations, avoid to do it directly.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's all about having that routine and a habit. And as I said, if you're away for a month and you still need to be trading, you still need to be making money, maybe, make sure that you set up a routine and a habit every day so that you can trade on vacation as well. But it's definitely difficult. I mean, for myself, when I'm away on vacation, I'm away with the kids. Like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to trade with kids running around screaming. Maybe we can go into trading view and take a look at some of your setups, and maybe we can you could walk us through how you're actually trading your system or what type of system you are trading.
Yep, exactly. Wait a moment. I think my screen is loading.
I can see it.
You can see it right now?
Yeah.
Okay, well, so here looking, for example, those are the setups that I took during the bootcamp account where I scale it. For example, that is my perfect, I think one of my perfect setups, globally aiming for low RRs, like 1.5 here, which is perfect. For example, my confluence here were a part of higher time frames because globally we were like breaking the support and resistance zones. So the market structure there were a shift, which was really interesting for a bearish move. What was aiming? Wait a moment, and I took that trade. I think okay, that's here right now. I'm trading with the CCI a little bit. You can see the indicator here. That one of my confluences. It's with those parameters, you can see it right here, 50 at the length. It's in French, so sorry. Length is 50, and so the length of the SMA is 14. And globally, I'm looking at the zones of 200 and 200, and that works like with price action. You can, for example, make trend lines right here, and you can trade over like the CCI spikes, and that's exactly what I did here because there were a CCI spike at 200 CCI right here, and I was looking for a bearish move, so that was exactly the perfect thing to look at right here. There were a retest of the trend line once here, and also I think some good Heikin Ashi candles. And I took that trade with the globally. I'm aiming always to take trades in the move of the trend, never reversals, because I think reversals are setups where you get low win rates, but you can get high RRs. And I'm aiming for low RRs here with following the trend. Globally, I have some other setups. Right now, my strategy has a little bit changed, but I will come back to it a little bit later. Here, for example, I got the move of. I think I looked at the market shift here. You can see like right here, it started to do higher highs and lower highs. So I started to look for bullish moves. I put a Fibonacci right here from this high to this low. That was one of my confluences. Then I went to Heikin Ashi candles because I love to use them because that's just removes the globally the ranging moves. That's again because I'm trying to follow the trend. And you can see right here with this trade, I took the trade with a one good bullish Heikin-Ashi, if you know it, because globally, I think there is not a lot of person who know how to trade Heikin-Ashi candles. Here it was the perfect candle to get at. It was above the 8 MA. There were a spike down on 1 minute CCI. I think it was a minus 200, which is perfect for a bullish move. And I just took the trade with a 1 to 2 RRs, 1 to 1.2 RRs. So that went perfect. I could have been stopped right here, you can see, if it was a higher RR. And that's again why my strategy works. I'm aiming for small moves, but that works for me. And also, I think it touched the Fibonacci right here, and that was perfect for my trade. And then my third trade for that follows my setup is like the retest of the trend line, retest of the support zone on higher time frame. I think it was this zone right here, a retest of this zone a few times. Then the move was expanding right here. It was like really, really good move. And I took the trade on Heiken Ashi candles again with a good spike down right here on CCI. You can see it's globally my strategy is trend following. Easy strategy. I don't have to complicate things because I was trading SMC before, but I started to develop my strategy with those kind of things. So simple trend lines, first thing. Second thing, usually Heiken Ashi. Third thing, it can be Fibonacci or CCI. And that's really easy. I don't have to complicate things, and usually that works.
All right, interesting. So you're looking at only are you looking at only Heiken-Ashi candles, or are you looking at candlesticks as well?
I'm looking at both, but usually to enter a trade, I'm trying to get a good entry with Heiken Ashi candles, you know? I'm not trying to get, for example, the opposite candle during my entry because I'm
All right.
trend following.
What is it that you like about a Heiken-Ashi candle compared to candlesticks?
Globally, you can catch some trendish moves if you know how to trade a Heiken Ashis. Then the second thing, there is more like less, there is like less ranging moves. You can see, for example, right here, you can see, for example, that started to range because there is not a clear Heiken Ashi move. But right here, that was a clear trendish move. So you can just ride on trend.
Yeah,
And that's kind of trade.
candlesticks really give beautiful, beautiful trending moves. So yeah, you're using a combination of indicators here, but you're making it look very, very simplistic and very easy here, I must say. So you're basically a trend following trader, right?
Yeah. I read a lot of books on trend following, like books from 30 years ago. And I've seen that usually, for example, the funds that trend follow tend to be more performative than the funds that try to get reversals on or other types of strategies. Usually the trend following is just gets more performance, you know, in the long run.
Yeah,
That's,
I think that makes sense to follow the trend definitely. From
yeah.
a talk about risk management here or trade management, do you have any specific rules on where to place your stop loss, for example?
Usually my stops are really easy. Globally, I'm trying to get the nearest high or nearest low, and I'm trying to put my stop loss like 1 or 2 pips below or above.
Right, and so only 1 or 2 pips.
It's not my whole stop, but from the nearest low and nearest high, it's like 1 to 2 pips. But globally, my stop ranges from 10 pips to I think 30 pips right now. But if I'm trading higher time frames, sometimes with for example, economic situation, I'm trading higher time frames so I can, for example, swing trade. And that's what I do usually on the evaluations. I tend to put like a larger sell, like 50 pips, because that's the thing to do if you're trading higher time frames. You cannot trade with a 5 pips stop loss.
Yeah, no, exactly. That makes a lot of sense. And from a trade management perspective, then, like, is there any rules you follow when you can move your stop loss, maybe move your stop loss to entry and things like that?
I'm trying to not move my stop loss really much because I'm trading low hours, so that can, for example, lower my win rates. But right now, I'm trying to change something, and I'm trying to really, for example, cut, for example, my trades in a half at 1 hour, and trying to like let the other half run. And that's why, for example, right now I'm trying to move my stop loss at break even. But before I wasn't doing that.
All right, that makes sense. Take profit strategy. Do you let the trades run, or do you have like look this trade that we're looking at right here? Why did you put that take profit where you have it right now? So maybe you could explain that take profit strategy a bit.
Okay, globally, here it was a trade yesterday. I changed my strategy a little bit because right now I'm looking also at VWAP. VWAP because of the daily bias. Usually it helps a lot. For example, here I was really bullish on this move. Yesterday, it was a really volatile day. And so I was looking for bullish moves. And right here, we get this high right here. I was waiting for a good retest of this zone right here. It was a high time frame zone. I didn't get it right here, so I wasn't entering the trade. I get it right here, and Moreover, I get to the trend line retest right here also. I took that trade, some easy trade, 1.5 hour, and just aiming for this high. But for example, I'm not confident to let this trade run during Newsday. Moreover, for 1 to 5, 1 to 6, I'm aiming for lower hours. And you can see again here, for example, if I was aiming for something bigger, I would stop right here.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right. Now, what I would like to do is, well, I have one question. You're only trading USD JPY, are you? Or you do any other pairs?
I'm trading mainly USD because that's the pair where I specialize. I love the moves. But I'm also trading gold sometimes, but rarely, and Australian dollar GPY also.
Okay, so what makes you like shift from one pair to the other?
For example, sometimes with the GPY is choppy, and I can see, for example, more tradish moves on Australian dollar GPY or gold, but I don't like really gold. Sometimes it's really good, but usually it's like really volatile, and that's not the thing that I'm trying to get.
Yeah, gold can definitely be quite
Mm.
difficult. So what I want to do now is I want to go back to the Fiverr's hub and see if we can look at any look at your payouts, because I do know that you have quite a lot of payouts. You've scaled your accounts quite a few times. So maybe we can take a look at that, your payouts certificates.
Yep, it's right here. Yep, those are my overall payouts, like 21K. 22K
Right.
nearly, and I think I will get another payout in 2 weeks because I just got my account. I think like something around 6K.
That's quite amazing because you've been trading for 2 years and you get over 20K payouts on these accounts. That's actually quite amazing. And so I would like to ask you, like, what was that feeling when you got that first payout? You got funded, and then you got that payout, you requested the money, and then you saw it into your trading account. Like, what's that feeling?
I think that was amazing. Like you cannot just describe that feeling because when you're funded, you're managing big capital, and you can get like 10K payouts, like nearly here it was like 8K. That's amazing, and that's only in 2 weeks. So you can just scale your, for example, your own capital. That's amazing, but you have to be really, really strong in the psychological point of view. But that's amazing. I think people who will experience that type of things, like to be funded, they will know that's just indescribable.
We talked about, giving, talked about those payouts, but I would like one last question before we kind of wrap this up is, you've been trading for 2 years and you've made quite a lot of money on this, and you obviously have a quite profitable system. Now, for all new traders watching this, because we do have a lot of new traders watching this, do you have any tips for those new traders coming into the market and looking to get funded?
I think if you want to be funded, you have to aim for lower hours. That's easier. First of all, you will get a high win rate, and that's the thing to do when you're training funding accounts. You will be profitable with that, and also to look for profitable traders, really profitable traders, and are not, for example, trading gurus. And I think, for example, when I was starting, I was looking, for example, those interviews that I'm doing right now, the Fivers, and that was just amazing because they were like real traders, real profitable traders, which were sharing their strategies, and that was really good to look at those types of videos, to look at those types of informations, which is really helpful in the market, and also to read a lot of books because you will get, for example, one strategy from one book, a second strategy for another, and like the different point of views, which after like 1 year, 2 years of training, you can make up your own strategy, your own approach. And for example, for me, I know that's the thing which is working is lower hours, and I got like 22K payouts with that only. And just to create something on your own, not follow other people.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a really important tip, to really create something, like take inspiration from other, create something on your own, and then test it, right? And not just follow others. Alex, I'd like to thank you for joining here today. Very good interview, and I hope to have more interviews like this one with you when you scale this account as well. Again, thank you for joining here today, and I'd like to wish you all the best in your future trading journey.
Thank you for the opportunity. That was a pleasure. And I'm looking forward to share another interview when I will scale the accounts a few times and get more payouts.
And for everyone
Thanks.
watching, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe for more content like this. And if you have any questions for Alex, maybe we'll do a future interview, let him know in the comments and we'll make sure to bring that up. All right, Alex, thank you and have a great day.
You too.